Who's that Pokemon? Welcome back, patrons, to the den. I'm joined by Beebs, Blue, Imperial, and Puzzle Plank. Hi, my name is Golden Frieza. It is nice to see you again. People just call me Frieza. And welcome to our podcast. Would anyone else like to say hello?
I will. Hi, patrons. Welcome to the den once again, as Frieza once said. We are here to talk a little bit about Pokemon. But before I do that, Beebs, Blue, Plankton, you better speak up.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Yo. Hey.
Cool, awesome. Alrighty, so as I just said, we're going to talk a little bit about the Pokemon Direct that just came out on this February 2nd, or 25th. I can't speak today. February 25th, 2025. Or was it 27th? I already forgot.
27th.
27th.
I'm so bad at this. Anyway, we'll cut that bit out. Yeah. So we're just gathered here. We're going to sit and have a little conversation about our thoughts about the Direct and go from there. So yeah. We'd love to hear what your thoughts are in the comment section below. All right, guys. Who wants to take it away?
Well, the Direct started us off with, continuation of Pokemon Concierge, a stop animation Pokemon series, which follows, I forget the main character's name. Is it, Beebs, do you know this?
Video, it's Haru.
Haru, okay, I like that name a lot. But yeah, no, I'm honestly, in my opinion, I only watched one episode, and I'm actually super excited to watch the rest and know that there's more on the way. I haven't seen stop motion animation in a long time, since like Lego stop motion videos on YouTube, and maybe a few movies that were made like that, and I just can't remember the last time I've seen it. And personally, I'm happy that they're continuing different animation projects away from the main series of the anime. I'm actually want to see more Poketoon, to be honest, but I'm still excited about this.
You know, it's interesting, Frieza, because this isn't the only stop motion thing they have in the works. They reached out to, I'm trying to remember, it's the guys that do Wallace and Gromit. They have something planned in 2027 for Pokemon animation.
Where did you get this information, Plank? I didn't know Aardman Animations was contracted by Nintendo.
This was like 2 months ago. It's just kind of funny because they're also going to be doing a stop motion Pokemon thing. I don't think it was mentioned in the Direct. This is just something off the top of my head because Frieza mentioned stop motion.
Yay, stop
Hey, we
motion.
learned.
It's just very interesting.
That's really cool, honestly. I didn't know if they were getting the animators who did Wallace and Gromit or like the team or company. That's actually mad fire. I think the different types of ways that they tackle stop motion, because they did like a more like felt yarn. I forget the technique or like the actual stuff they use, but I'm curious if they will go with like a claymation or clay stop motion, or what other kinds of stop animation or stop motion animation they will use.
Yeah, it's interesting. And, you know, you just love to see stop motion being made because it's such a unique form of animation.
As someone who enjoys stop motion animation, I would like more of this series, please. Pokemon Concierge has this cute needle felted style to a lot of the Pokemon, especially like we got a really good glimpse of Furret in the trailer, and it looked very, very fluffy, very textured, very hard to animate because it's stop motion. But it looks so good, and I would honestly sell my soul for a full, like, comprehensive series. Like, y'all know those like Planet Earth kind of styled videos where it's about a Pokemon in real life. Give me that, but stop motion. Give me that, but the Pokemon Concierge style, or the claymation style that Aardman is known for.
Yep. I was gonna add on to that, Beebs. It looks very good. I'm not gonna lie. I just love the textures and everything. Like how everything reflects off the lighting. Like everything just looks perfect. At first, when I first saw it in the trailer, I was like, but then a few seconds in, pretty much, I started getting used to it. I was like, oh wow, this is actually pretty cool. So, yeah.
I'm curious to see, like, because I don't really remember much about the first episode I saw, but I want to see like some of the Pokemon battles. I hope those. If you've seen the four, do they do battles?
It's been a while since I actually watched all 4 episodes. I did watch them when they were available for free on YouTube in preparation, I guess, for season 2. But I can't recall any details right now. My brain is still hung up on stop motion fuzzy furret.
Okay,
Yeah.
I had to ask because it's something that was just now in my head.
Stop motion fuzzy furry. That sounds like it's the gist of it. I honestly have not seen a single thing of it. I don't really even know the concept other than they seem to be enjoying life on an island or they're vacationing or something like that. Yeah, but the animation and the art style looks great. I just don't think I would personally watch it just because I have a bunch of other stuff that I gotta watch. Yeah, I really don't have much to really say on terms of Concierge, but it's nice to know that it's being supported.
Yeah, I've watched 1 episode. Oh, sorry, you go ahead, Frieza.
You're good. I was just saying it's great.
I don't know, I've watched 1 episode. It's a very chill show. It's nice to relax and unwind. They mostly just kind of, I've only seen 1 episode, so it's off of memory, but they mostly just kind of like, just vibe with the Pokemon at their like hotel, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. It seems like it's a nice show to maybe just put on and like unload. Maybe I'll check it out. I like the animation style after all.
Oh yeah, it seems great. Yeah, are there any other thoughts that we have on Concierge? Because honestly, I think we've said pretty much our bit on it.
I think we've said all that we could say about it, honestly, in our opinions. The next thing on Direct, we move straight into Pokemon Go.
I actually do play Pokemon Go basically every day, and I completely forgot what they announced.
I'll jump in and give y'all the details. So at the time of that Direct happening, they were promoting Pokemon Go Tour Unova, where, hooray, Generation 5 is being shoved down the throats of every consumer. I'm saying this as someone who likes Gen 5 but who has never finished it. Please don't come for me. But they had a whole like tour pass, and Shiny Meloetta was a special research reward, and you could get Victini as a reward for completing their paid tier of this new deluxe pass, which I think is going to be a feature in Go Tours going forward, which is
That's pretty lame.
Yeah, as someone who's been a free-to-play player since 2016, yeah, we're in the trenches. The company behind Pokemon Go, Niantic, recently sold Pokemon Go to a new company. I believe their name is Scopely. They're the ones behind, I believe it's Monopoly Go and Marvel Snap. So fans are worried because those games have arbitrary timers, an energy system where you have to like have a specific currency to refill your energy levels, and fans are worried that that's going to happen to Pogo. And considering this game is sort of, like, I wouldn't say it's reaching the end of its lifespan because we're still on Generation 9. They haven't even finished implementing the entirety of Gen 8, and Gen 9 doesn't even have its legendaries in the game, so they're kind of behind.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really interesting to see how the new acquisition plus the upcoming ZA and anything else that Scarlet and Violet does, it's going to be interesting to see how that applies to Go in and of itself.
I was going to add in with that to Beebs that I just kind of find it very funny that, again, they're giving us a ton of Gen 5 content. Love it. But the remakes of that's a whole different story. But
that is a whole different story. It is completely Gen 5, but in the spin-offs only. They don't know what a Gen 5 is in the main games.
Nope.
Gen 5 remake when?
Go ahead, Frieza.
Yeah, so I'm actually gonna say, like, so with the shift from main series to Go has been a little bit behind, but I've kind of expected that because they got to take into account, like, how are we going to implement it into the game. Like, Mega Evolutions took a little bit to get into the game, and Dynamax, I believe, and Gigantamax. So it'll take a bit for some of the gimmicks. I don't think we'll get Z moves. I don't think we'll get Terrastal, but I would like to see Terrastal because low-key that could be implemented. But the biggest thing for me is that it's going to be one of those things where they might see the game is actually doing pretty well as it is and see no need to change it, and I'm pretty sure they're going to like run by like a lot of testers, or maybe little small little samples and surveys about like, hey, what can we do to maybe improve the game, or what can we do to change the game that would make it feel refreshing. And I think that's something that could be positive, and I do understand your worries and scarcities for changing for certain things and making it more pay to play. I definitely don't play it as much as I used to, but I definitely can see the acquisition of that kind of information. And especially me, I'm a little worried how they're going to take on the mapping and the information of the players and their location security safely, because you got to remember when you're buying this game has a lot of data and information on people that isn't more like their personal info, but more about their location. So I wonder how their security is going to do with that too.
Damn, they haven't incorporated all of Gen 9 yet?
It took them like 5 years to add Kecleon, if my memory serves, so sometimes they're just behind on the times.
And even now, you still can't get Kecleon unless you get really lucky at a Pokestop.
Wow.
Luckily, I got them. Hey, joke all you want, but this probably will be the first Pokemon game at some point that has every single generation in it.
That is very true.
It probably will.
Yeah, it's gonna be the first one to have all like 1,000 of the bastards.
Yeah. I was gonna add in surprise. I have not played Pokemon Go in like such a long time, but they don't have Z moves.
No.
I've never
No.
played it ever.
The most recent gimmick that they added was Gen 8's Dynamax and Gigantamax, but when they were adding in the Alolan Pokemon, they completely skipped over the concept of Z-moves. I think Megas were introduced at the same time, so it was like, oh, you get the Alolan Pokemon, you get Megas. No Z-moves though, screw those. They wouldn't really
fair.
work outside of PvP, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I was about to say the exact same thing.
So for that, I think it's because they have to implement a way for you to use the Z moves in the battling aspect, and I think the biggest thing is that the battling aspect isn't the main priority; it's catching and collecting. So, especially because you can see it in Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, even though it's a supposed to be off the main series game, its main focus was exploring and catching. So I'm kind of curious how the future of Let's Go could go forward into like, will there be more content besides exploring and catching, and obviously hanging with your Pokemon? Like we won't. I don't know if we'll ever see another Let's Go game. I'm gonna keep it real here, and I think I want to see them implement ways to connect more with Let's Go to other series games. So I want to see how that will look in the future, but I'm thinking it's kind of nearing a point where we might not get a lot of Let's Go.
I feel like Let's Go was... Excuse me. I should probably grab water after this. But I feel like Let's Go was the Pokemon Company's way of bridging the gap between people who only exclusively play Go and the people who only exclusively play the console games. Because it took a lot from Go, like the catching system, being able to see Pokemon in the wild, kind of more scaled down battles. Like you had the same battles as in your normal games, but it kind of felt less intense. That's probably a really bad way to put it, but that's how my brain's saying it. So if we ever got another Let's Go, it would probably be bridging the gap between another Pokemon app and whatever main series game we're at the time. That's my opinion, though.
Well, moving on to the next Pokemon app is Pokemon Masters EX, and I'm not going to say the joke.
I almost did.
But I want to. But anyway, Pokemon Masters EX is, if those don't know, is the Pokemon Gacha game equivalent, as we get to see our favorite trainers and their paired Pokemon or partner Pokemon, and sometimes we get some special partner-ups with legendaries, mythicals, and we got exposed to seeing shiny Primal Kyogre, Groudon, and Mega Rayquaza, and this is cool, obviously because the Primals were amazing, and Mega Rayquaza is probably one of the best Megas we've ever seen design-wise too. I love this game, not because it's fun to play, I actually find it very difficult to play sometimes. But I love that we finally get to hear our characters' voices, English and Japanese, and we get to see some of the cool team ups they have with their Pokemon, and we get to see even some of them have Pokemon that evolve. You can evolve them, and we get to see them interact with the other characters, and we get these cool little filler cannons almost, or head cannons, finally coming to realization. I love that about this game.
Yeah, I used to play EX a while ago. I honestly, back before it was even called EX, I think it was just Pokemon Masters at the time when I fucking played it.
It was.
And so I just liked the whole concept of it. Like, I like the partners, I like the voice acting, I like that it takes place, like, not in a specific region. It's just kind of a place where everybody comes together to, like, kind of be like the Pokemon Masters that they've always wanted to be. And I just like that you have, like, consistency in updates, like, even, like, the current gens. Like, I mean, they're slowly but surely being implemented, I'm sure, into the game, but I haven't played in such a long time that, because also, like, I got turned off by it because they were adding so many features that I just wasn't understanding. Like, the game, to me at least, wasn't really explaining the features well, and just there was just a lot being added where I felt like I couldn't keep up. So that's just kind of my, like, opinion on it. But I honestly used to really like the soundtrack. I used to really like the formatting of the battles. And I really thought the team ups and, like, the different Pokemon, like, partners, like, were just so creative, because, like, some characters I didn't even, like, envision, like, having that as a partner. Granted, it also kind of confirms some partners' headcanons with me when it comes to starters, but that's just me.
As someone who's kind of been playing Masters on and off since the EX update, this is probably like the wild card of the entire franchise, because you can go from stuff like fully voiced Legends Arceus characters who have not made their debut in the anime and most likely never will, and then you get an absolute lore dump for Masters, like the story that it's trying to set up. Something that I've noticed is that a lot of the spin-off games, yes, they're spin-offs, but some of them have, like, direct references to mainline material, and none of the mainline material ever circles back and is like, oh yeah, Lear and his buddies on Pasio are actually a thing. Like, no one talks about it, and it's kind of a missed opportunity. But as a chronic gacha game player, I find the game to kind of just be a little bit annoying sometimes. You pull, and you keep pulling, but you never get what you want until you start paying money, and then that's when you lose a majority of your audience. But I digress. Masters EX with shiny primals and Steven getting Rayquaza, dope as hell. Anyone who still plays, good for y'all.
Yeah, for real, you guys are warriors if you're still playing. I don't think I could just keep up with the consistency of updates, because I'm also not much of a mobile gamer, if I'm being completely honest. Like, I used to be when I was, like, in high school and middle school, but, like, you know, as I got older with, like, my own consoles and now my own laptop, like, I don't really have the need to play mobile games. Like, if I have, like, a good mobile party game, I'll play it, but, like, it's not something that I'll consistently play. And also, just, like, as an adult, I don't have the time to really be doing all of that mobile game stuff when I already have, like, too many, like, games to play on the side.
Trust, I feel that. I put down Cookie Run Kingdom for a reason.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Frieza.
So for me, I actually wanted to also mention that we get these great character designs and costumes, and even alternate color costumes for certain character levels. And I love that, because, like, I get to see them in a different setting or a different view from what they usually look like. And it's just one of those, you're right, it's a very, very crazy wild card of a game. But that's what makes it, I guess, so enjoyable. Blue, I think you had something to say.
Yeah. I was gonna say, it's funny because on Bulbapedia, where, like, you get to see all these Pokemon, OC creations and every character in the Pokemon universe, half of the lore that, like, actually comes out, and you can see, like, the relationships between different characters in the Pokemon universe comes from EX, because EX goes into full depth about, like, oh, Steven is this, I'm just throwing out random characters, or, like, N does this, and then he actually is secretly related to this person, and yeah, I just find it quite fun with EX, but I've personally not played it. But yeah.
Real quick before we change subjects, something I just remembered. I don't know if this was a coincidence or not, but Cynthia gained a costume way back when that is Renegade Cynthia, and she had a sync pair with Giratina. And the theme that was used for, I don't know if it was for her gotcha pull or if that was like what played when you used her special move, but it is a dead ringer for Volo's theme in Legends Arceus, and I do not think that's a coincidence. I think that there's a connection there. Maybe I'm just tinfoil hatting this, but it is like literally the same theme.
I was gonna actually say, that was when I stopped playing, actually. It was around the time that was released. And funny that you mentioned that, because I liked that Cynthia had Giratina, because, like, if you think about it, in Platinum, she also has a lot of extensive, like, knowledge of Giratina and what it does. But in Masters, like, that's when I've, like, realized, like, that's when I stopped playing, but also, like, that's kind of a cool, like, connection that you made right there, because it had to have been subtle foreshadowing then that, like, hey, like, actually, Cynthia's ancestor is the one that controls it. Spoiler alerts for those who haven't played Arceus, but if you haven't played Arceus yet and you're listening to this, what are you doing?
Play it, it's a banger game.
Exactly. Also Volo. But anyway,
also Volo.
Literally. Also the Hisuian starters, love. But yeah, so I feel like that's definitely not a coincidence. They definitely did that as subtle foreshadowing, and I wonder if other people have theorized that as well.
What's next?
Well, we will move over to Pokemon Cafe Remix. Now,
Oh boy.
this game, when I first saw it, was a surprise, and I didn't know what to expect from when I first played it. Imperial?
Yeah. As someone who, granted, I'm such a great Pokemon fan who has them. I don't play a lot of the spin-off games, gang. Don't hate me. But
You're good.
yeah. So I do keep up with, like, what's going on in Pokemon media. I just don't play every single game or watch every single thing that comes to me. But Pokemon Cafe Remix, I was honestly, like, one time I was just bored out of my mind and I was just watching what the game, like, actually is. And boy, do those treats look damn good, because we need those IRL. For a little bit of a lore dump on the DM gang, at least, Frieza, Blue, and I actually went to Tokyo one time for an abroad trip, and we actually ate at the Pokemon Cafe, or at least Frieza and I did. I don't know, Blue, were you at that with us? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
Damn it. You were off doing your exploring.
No, I was in the same area, but I was doing something else. I do regret it, though.
Sorry. Blue, no, Imperial's right, Blue. I think you were with us, but you decided to go somewhere else because you wanted to check other stuff out, and me and Imperial wanted to go, eat at it. And I will say, I think there are some things from that game that are in IRL, if I'm not too presumptuous, but I do want them to release a cookbook, or even just like some like recipe book from even the anime, because I would love to make that stuff, and I think it would be great to get my hands on it, and I would love to go again because they do update their menus.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I honestly want just a cookbook, and I also want them to open American locations or just international locations in general, because you Japanese folk need to share your secrets. Not really, but share the Pokemon culture, please, because those smoothies that we had, at least I remember I have a picture of the the Uva Academy. I think it was a smoothie or some sort of drink that I have from there, and then I think we had a pastry or two, Frieza, I just forget, but I just remember it being really good. So yes, please open your doors and set up locations across the globe, please. Your Pokemon fans would bring you lots of profit, like they always do.
I'm gonna bounce off. I also agree with the cookbook comment. That needs to be a thing. But also, for bringing Pokemon stuff overseas, we used to have a Pokemon Center in the United States. It is now Nintendo New York. It used to be just a Pokemon Center, but then I don't know when it turned into Nintendo New York, but that happened.
Well, let's just make it.
Oh, no, you go first.
That should be just its own place, I guess.
It should. But
it didn't last that long. I think it closed in like 2004.
and then it just
Or got
became what
replaced.
it is right now, which is
Yeah.
that place needs better. Like, small rant. As someone who's been going to New York for as long as she can remember, that place needs better like circulation.
Yes.
I've never been, but I want to
It
go.
is always so damn hot in there, and you're like, oh, you stand by the door and it feels a little bit better, but as soon as you like start walking around, it's like, oh, I'm in an oven.
Yeah, I was gonna piggyback on that, Beebs, but do you want to go Frieza before I talk?
Yeah, I think the reason they changed it from a Pokemon Center to Nintendo New York is because it's to maximize profits, and sadly, any
Oh, without a doubt.
Pokemon Center will change to that. And I am sad because Pokemon is big enough as itself, but the other stuff are equally as important, like Mario. Like, you cannot put disrespect on Mr. Mario. Let's be real
No,
here.
gods no. We have
Not with
Mr. Mario right
Plank
here.
either.
Yeah, we do, Mr. Mario Party.
Not with Plank here either, because then he'll clock our shit.
He already clocks our shit in Mario Party. We're fine.
He'll clock it IRL if we talk any kind of trash.
You can talk trash. I just think the Mario franchise is pretty consistent.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. They know what they're doing.
I mean, compared to other gaming franchises, hell yeah. But I
Really?
was gonna piggyback on Beebs. Yeah, Nintendo New York. I mean, despite its location, I honestly think the store should be bigger.
Oh, it should 100%.
Because it's always packed.
Yes!
Again, I'm just ranting here at this point, but always packed, and
brother, go off.
not a lot of rocking room. The Pokemon area is very small.
It used to be
Compared-
bigger.
Used to be, but now, I mean, for literally, it has, I believe, it's the best-selling grossing franchise out of any media company in the history of like media companies. I believe, like, it sells so much money, yet it has such a little spot now in that store. I just find it crazy. But yeah, it would be great if they actually built like a Pokemon Cafe location in the United States. It'll probably be in Los Angeles or New York, obviously. But
I would think New York personally, but
yeah,
LA also seems excuse me. LA also seems plausible because all the cool anime collaboration cafes are in LA.
yep.
Still waiting for that Persona 5 one to make its way over to the East Coast. Please.
Pray.
Please.
Transitioning over from one incredible cute game, I think they also wanted, before we actually transition, they also mentioned that they were going to give us some Gen 3 starters with little cute costumes. They're always expanding the game, adding new recipes or adding new stuff and new Pokemon to interact with. If you haven't played it, go check it out. It's a great game. It's free to play. Obviously, I'm sure there's some pay to win aspects, but really play it. It's a great, just cool down, relaxing game.
Small thing to add. For anyone who decides, oh, I don't have a Switch, I'm gonna get this game on mobile. If you ever get a Switch, the game does not support crossplay. The game does not support data syncing. So if you've sunk hours of your life into the version on the Switch, and your Switch suddenly goes kaput, and you want to start again on your phone, you're going to be starting from square one, and vice versa. It, for some reason, does not carry over data, which is dumb. So, be very wary if you decide to sink a lot of time and money into this game. If something goes wrong and you lose access to the game, unless you can get whatever device you had the data on, if you can get it back, you're kind of borked. You're gonna have to start from the very beginning, and I don't think anyone wants to do that, especially with a game that has so many cute limited time events like this.
All right, moving on to a Pokemon app that is to track how poorly you're sleeping. Pokemon Sleep.
I used that app for a grand total of 2 days, and then I deleted it.
2 days? Oh, brother.
2
That's
days.
amazing.
Dedication, man.
Anyway, I don't play this. I don't use this because I don't want to see how badly I'm sleeping. But I did see that they're adding a event for Cresselia and Darkrai, which is great. They are Pokemon who have been seen in game to affect your sleep, especially Darkrai having to be part of nightmares. I didn't play this a lot. Beebs played it a lot. Why don't you take us away to this cool edition?
All right, so I've been playing Pokemon Sleep on and off for months since it came out. I have a terrible sleep schedule. I'm just gonna say that out. I'm gonna admit that. I have a terrible sleep schedule, but Pokemon Sleep has actually helped me get a little bit more in check. And then when I stop using it, my sleep schedule goes back to being absolutely atrocious, so make of that what you will. The idea of more legendaries coming to this game is really cool, but I have no idea how you're supposed to encounter them. In my on and off months of playing, I have never encountered any of the legendaries that they've released, which I think is... I remember seeing the legendary beasts at one point, Entei, Raikou, Suicune, and now Cresselia and Darkrai. I don't know if that includes any other legendaries. I know Mew is probably in here somewhere, because it's a Pokemon game, they gotta get the Gen 1 support. But something I've noticed is that this game doesn't really have any connectivity with other games, aside from Go. And I think that was only a limited time event when the game first launched, where if you did like a specific thing in Sleep, you could get a Sleeping Cap Snorlax in Go that can't be transferred out, so you got something clogging up your boxes. But Sleep is really good if you want to track how badly your sleep schedule is and try to set yourself on the right path to a better sleep schedule. It does work, but it takes effort that, well, you need to put in the effort and it'll give out the same amount of effort you put in, basically.
Also, sleep is just good in general, kids.
Yes, but don't oversleep. Oversleeping is bad for your health.
Right. So sleep accordingly.
Yep. Sleep the recommended hours recommended to you either by your doctor or get the 8 hours of sleep recommended for most people. We are not medical experts.
I'll say it's actually, I think 6 hours is the recommended now, because
It depends on your age.
no one is gonna get 8. I'll be real with you. I don't even get like 6 hours of sleep. I think I get like 3 to 4 on good days and like 1 to 2 on bad days. I am exhausted, but I always carry through because I have to.
I get 8 to 10.
It depends
I get
on
8
your
to 10
age.
on a good day.
I was gonna say it really depends on your age, depending on how like many required hours or hours you should be hitting. The younger you are, the more, or I think it's depending on. I think the younger you are, it's like the more or less, and I think as you get older, you typically get less, but you need more.
Damn.
That's typically how it is. Some psych research I used to do back in good old college with Mr. Plank, even though we never did a sleep psych class, but
Yeah.
There was a sleep psych class?
no, but biopsych was basically the class that like taught you about your biology and how psych and biology kind of intertwine. But nobody wanted to take that class because the professor was not it.
Oh no, I have a feeling I know
God.
exactly who it is just from the way you said that.
Oh no, it was one of the psych professors I hardly rambled about, but
I know who it is, I think.
Wait,
Plank knows exactly.
I think I might know who you're talking about.
Yes.
Oh my
dear.
God. Oh dear. All right, let's take this time to move on to probably my least favorite subject to talk about, because I sank some hours in this game and I almost broke my Switch Lite. Pokemon Unite.
Oh gods.
Unite.
Unite is a League of Legends type game, I guess we would say, or Smite, I guess. There are lanes, top, middle, and bottom lane, and you pick Pokemon to battle it out and score points on objectives. There are other game modes, but you know, that's the main game of it. It's actually, I think, really a cool idea as we get a more creative roster instead of seeing, you know, your usual suspect. Well, we still see the usual suspects as Charizard, Pikachu. You know, those are the most popular. But it's a fun game with cool skins and cool ideas to throw off.
It's great when it comes to creativity because they can use whatever Pokemon they want. But oh my god, is this game like just this game? We don't mean to be haters for those who love it. You know, power to the players. You can play whatever the heck you want. Frieza and I have had probably some of the biggest gaming crash outs, just the absolute ridiculousness that is the balancing. It's just not something that. Well, I mean, it was fun in the beginning, and then obviously it's one of those games where it's like you only really are having fun if you're winning and not absolutely getting like steamrolled. So it's just. I don't know, because like it's fun. It's a fun concept. It's a fun like game in terms of like the systems are pretty good. The roster's great, but it's just like it's not fun if you're not winning at least, and it's just I don't know. Anyway, Beebs.
This game is Pokemon League of Legends, and I hate it for that.
Exactly. That's probably the best way to put it.
And that isn't my full thoughts on the game. I could ramble about this for a while because I did start playing Unite when it came out. Snapped a controller in half because it felt like I was playing with a bunch of brain dead idiots.
I mean,
So-
you probably were.
I probably was. I was the only one going on point. So any Marvel Rivals players in the audience, aside from Imperial, Frieza, anyone else here? Yeah, any Rivals players in the audience? Yeah, you know how it feels. Stay on point. Do objective. Get shit on.
Oh, you just gave me a horrible nightmare. What if we had Pokemon Overwatch or Pokemon Marvel?
Shut up,
Rivals?
shut up,
I'd
shut up,
die.
shut up,
I'd
shut up,
die.
shut up, shut up,
This
shut up,
wouldn't be
shut up,
long
shut the
for
hell up,
me.
shut the hell up, shut your mouth, shut up, shut up. You're gonna speak that into existence.
We're
Stop!
about to mute Golden Frieza here.
Server mute him. Get him out of here.
Server mute this man because absolutely not.
Ditto hits you
No,
with the-
we can go into a rant about how Marvel Rivals has definitely and Overwatch have taken years off of my life. With how the game. That's all I'm gonna say. Just the game.
Ditto's hitting you with the "Your power is mine."
Shut up! No!
I am the lucky man in this group. So
I hate this. I hate this image. Ah!
Pokemon would say it's clobbering time.
Machamp.
Trevenant?
Oh, that's good. Oh
Trevenant or Machamp?
no, Trevenant would be "I am Groot."
Oh no, you're so right.
Oh, that's horrible.
Oh
I'm
god,
sorry.
can we
I'm so
get off
sorry.
this
Don't think
topic?
about
Can we
that.
get off this? I hate this. If
I think-
TLDR, Pokemon Unite is just League of Legends, Pokemon League of Legends that is kind of pay to win. And it is, I'll jump back on it with this group, and only this group, because if I play it alone, I'm gonna break my Switch in half.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not touching it even with you guys because I'm not the amount of rage that Frieza and I have felt in
Oh, no.
the wee old college dorm that I cannot name for confidential reasons until I release my memoir. Keep on looking.
Imperial.
My
Um,
Switch has yet to recover from the damages.
Yeah, it's
Imperial.
not. Yeah, what's up?
Brother. You have not heard me when I rage at Splatoon. The
Oh, I
words
need to
that
see it
come
then.
out of my mouth are the most abhorrent things. I would get demonetized so fast.
Oh,
I
so when we're off
say terrible
screen,
things.
When we're off screen, I need to see this.
Oh my gods, no. If we ever decide to all jump on a gaming call together and play our own separate things, I will give you a taste of the Splatoon rage. It is terrible. I don't hate Splatoon, except for when I do.
Honestly, that's so fair. I mean, you guys have constantly seen my DBD rage, so it's only fair. And the patrons will see my Dead by Daylight rage soon.
think
You
the
don't want to
patrons
see
will
my
also
killer
see your
gameplay
Rivals
because
rage.
there might be like actually like demonetization happening. But we'll start with Survivor and see if my temper can handle playing killer on live recordings.
Oh, jeeves. Don't
But
we
yeah,
want to all have a collective aneurysm?
No, for real. Wait, did Plank and Blue talk about their thoughts of Unite? I just want to make sure they're included.
If you
in the
guys have
conversation.
thoughts, that is.
I'll say my story with Unite. My friends asked me maybe when it came out if I wanted to play, and I said if they had APOM, I'd play, and then I found out that APOMs are like the guys you kill to evolve and shit.
So sad.
So,
So
yeah,
sad.
exactly.
That's actually funny but sad.
I'm
So I don't think
sorry.
APOM's gonna get added to Unite.
I think Ambipom got added at some point.
No
I
way.
I think. Hold on. Let me look this up real quick.
Blue, did you have anything to say?
I was gonna say, despite my 2 hours put in on Pokemon Unite, after that I just never touched it again. I think I played it when it came out, but other than that, looks cool with the update.
Holy
Yeah,
hell, there's a lot.
Oh my
of
god, I
Pokemon.
forgot Unite is also a mobile game. Why is it I have it as you guys
Oh
it
yeah,
just
no.
keep on the App Store.
Yeah, no. My mistake. Ambipom is not playable. You actually have to kill them.
Yeah, Ambipom is playable.
Sad,
Oh,
big sad for
That's
mine.
so
Screwed up
sad.
world. It's a screwed up world.
This
It
is the
is.
same game that has a fucking Greedent playable, but not APOM or AmbiPom. This is a crime.
Guys, I'm looking at the app store of all the Pokemon apps. Why is there a Pokemon brushing? Oh, it's just teaching kids to brush
yeah.
their teeth.
I
Okay.
used that one a couple of times. It's dumb. It's cute, but it's dumb.
I feel like there's a lot of just dumb apps for like the
I think
game.
it broke Frieza.
Pokemon brushing app. Okay, let's move on
called-
to the next thing.
It's
a
called
real
Pokemon
app.
Smile.
It's a real
called
app.
Pokemon Smile.
I can't.
Anyway, moving on to TCG because that's the next topic of this.
TCG Pocket is the
Pocket.
next in-game app and the most recent addition to the Pokemon app games. Now, this is actually an app that I was like, okay, this is a TCG game. We have TCG on like the PC as well, but this is different. This is a whole new thing with packs that aren't even related to the IRL series. I think some of the cards do have some inspiration because there are maybe some cards that are actually out there. Do not quote me on that, but I got into it a little later when Mythical Island was released, and I was like, I'm not going to spend money on this game. I spent money on this game. I'm ashamed. But I am honestly pretty happy with this game, actually. I love the TCG series. I used to play it a little bit back in my younger days. I had a sick Blastoise deck, but that's neither here nor there. Holy cow. Is this fun? It makes the battling a lot more easier to absorb and contain, even though it's not a very complex game. It can become complex. I'm just curious to see where the future goes. I hope we can get e-reader cards back at this point, or at least them converting those packs into IRL. I don't know, but I'd like to see something crazy in the future.
How crazy?
Crazy.
I have words.
Words.
So, TGC Pocket. As a recovering Pokemon card addict that got spurred on by this lovely group of goobers, I own 2 ETBs now, and I do not feel proud about that. Ranked mode in TGC Pocket terrifies the hell out of me because there are people who play this game just to sweat. People play this game just to build meta decks and clap any unsuspecting people who decide, I'm gonna hit the versus button. People need to just go touch grass. But, just the Arceus expansion that was announced at the time is a really good expansion. It gives Generation 4 a lot of love, and most of the card art is actually pulled from IRL Pokemon cards. Like, I recognize a lot of these cards just because I own them. So there is a very real chance that someday in the future we could get actual legitimate like IRL TCG Pocket like booster packs and booster boxes and elite trainer boxes, like actual cards, because it shouldn't be that hard. They're just using old card art. Like, they have it, they have the cards, they have a template. Just do it. Like, it can't be that hard. Just do it. What about you, Imperial? You got words?
Honestly, I've never was a big card player for TCG. Like even per pocket, like I just can't see myself doing it. I've also learned about Frieza's addiction with buying cards for a massive amount of money.
Stop.
And my cheap ass can't do that. So
Don't do this to me.
no, I'm putting you on full blast. Guys, I spent $500 on this one Slot Car card.
Don't do this to me.
No, I'm doing it to you. I'm doing it to you.
This is bullying.
Listen, in the den, we only tolerate bullying of the hosts. The patrons are not allowed to be bullied.
Fair enough.
Only us hosts can bully each other.
Blue also had something to say. What's up, Blue?
No, I just wanted to add my comments on the TCG. Funnily enough, one of my coworkers, he loves the TCG app, the Pocket app, and every day he makes me open up 2 of those free packs just to get
Nice.
some good cards. But I just find it
Oh, nice
funny.
little work bonding event.
Blue
Had
is
it-
wasting all his luck right there.
No, yeah, I'm still not lucky when I open those packs, and they're like,
The curse lives
not-
on.
I mean, they're not terrible pulls, but they're not great either. But I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. Blue's unboxing luck is just as bad as ours when it comes to finding shinies. Except for Frieza, unless you're Frieza, you'll just find a shiny randomly all the time.
Real. Like, share some of that with us. It took Imperial and I like ages to find shinies. Imperial, have you actually found one in Scarlet and Violet yet?
I found a couple.
Okay, so we've found shiny since then, but Frieza, this mother fricker, finds a shiny like day one as soon as the game comes out. Like, bitch!
I'm just lucky. I've been shiny hunting since I would say properly since Gen 4, but I had a few in like Crystal back in the day, so I've been shiny hunting for a while. I have a decently sized not live shiny dex, but I have a shiny dex because I had been a part of like the trading community, so I used to trade a lot. I used to get I have like every form of Alcremie shiny in the decks, so I've been really on that grind. So when Gen 10 and Legend ZA comes out, I'm gonna be grinding again.
Oh god.
Must be nice, because
Sorry.
the luckiest I've ever had with shiny luck has been in Scarlet and Violet, and Frieza was there for that. Was doing a mindless Dynamax, not Dynamax, that's the wrong generation. Oh my god, I was doing a Terra raid, and I was fighting a crocodile, right? And part of me was like, I couldn't tell if it was the shiny or not. But good thing I caught it, because the look of it did look kind of off to a normal crocodile. And it was shiny. And now I have a shiny crocodile from a Terra raid. Really random, too.
Full odds, by the way.
And full odds. So that was my one flex of ever getting a shiny with full odds.
I remember the shiny Scizor. I was on call with, I believe it was Frieza and Imperial. And I like full on shrieked at the top of my lungs seeing that green bug machine walking around.
You just reminded me I killed a shiny Banky with Imperial. And I was like, I should have waited for you to get this, but you know what? I just killed it.
Yeah, disrespectful. You're killing shinies when you
I already had like 4 of them too.
Okay, let's
sad.
circle back. Let's circle back.
So from moving from the TCG Pocket, we're now going to talk about the TCG IRL. Now,
Pocket Particle Bird.
so they did give us a preview of future looks at a next TCG set. We don't have a name for it, but I can talk to you about what's coming up. So recently, as of March, we've had a few new sets come out. Terastal Festival, or Prismatic Evolution. I'm sorry to anyone who hasn't been able to get their hands on it. I genuinely feel for you. It is hard. The scalpers are ruining this wonderful, wonderful part of the fandom. But now we have that was just released from Japan, or no, what's after that one? Battle Partners or Journey Together, which we finally get trainer Pokemon back again, so we can celebrate about that with that one has Penny, Lily, and How, if I remember correctly, or Hop. And then now we just got released Heatwave Arena, and I'm pretty hyped about that because that brings another set of trainer cards with Ethan from the Gold and Silver series. We also get Cynthia and Misty and Arvin. And the next set that will be coming out, even though it hasn't come out in America yet either, is the Rocket set. And I wonder if we're going to get Dark Pokemon. I don't know if the leaks are legit, but I'm excited for that one. There's been leaks of the product and what the product will look like. Honestly, I'm excited though, and now that we know that Megas are coming back and they're going to be EXs, I wonder if they're going to change with Gen 10 to another format instead of EX.
Cards go burr.
Scalpers can choke, that's all I have to say.
Real.
I
Money
have
down the
recently
drain.
Bought some more packs that are being shipped to Blue when Blue doesn't hit. I forgot how many I ordered. I'm gonna be real.
Frieza, bro, we were just bullying you for this. Do we have to do it again?
I did-
Listen. I'm getting them pretty cheaply because they're the Korean version, and some reason the Korean versions don't sell for as much, which is insane.
But they still sell.
They still sell, yes, they do. So, yeah, I got myself order of Journey Together, Heatwave Arena, some Terastal Festival, I'm sorry, guys. I love opening cards. There's something about it.
So what I'm
question.
hearing is, but Imperial or not Imperial.
I was gonna just
No,
ask
Imperial, you got
No,
it.
you're right the first time.
Yeah. So Frieza, what I'm hearing is I shouldn't be picking up those cards just for your buddy's sakes. And
No. They're already ordered. And it doesn't matter if you don't pick them up or not. It's already paid for.
The money
I
has
know.
been spent, and this man
I
gets
have
broker.
more than enough money in my account. I'm quite flush right now.
Can we not talk about finances? I'm $100,000 in student loan debt, and I'm not getting paid by anything right now, so I'm like in a crisis.
Anyway, I was gonna ask this, Frieza, and just for patrons and for everybody who's listening on our dear little conversation, what would be more expensive of an addiction? My supposed popcorn addiction or this man's Pokemon card addiction?
Pokemon card addiction, 100%.
My counter to this is because you can eat that, but it's not really like healthy food, and it'll be gone. The cards are forever.
You can eat cards,
Burn them,
though.
trade them, or like they get
I've
lost or
eaten a
stolen.
card. Don't do this to me. I've eaten a lot of things that shouldn't be eaten.
Oh, how do cards taste?
Like cardboard,
like
you
paper.
idiot!
Like paper, bro. They like
Cardboard!
ink. I don't know how to explain
Oh,
it.
so fire types don't taste differently from dragon types. Got it.
No, it's not like crayons. It's not like
Alright.
crayons in the military. They don't taste
I'll
different.
review card taste.
Oh god. Card taste video 1.
Here on this video, I will be eating cards and describing you how they taste by their.
That's crazy.
You know, Frieza, that reminds me of a really funny YouTube channel. It's this guy who shoves amiibos in his mouth.
Oh, I
What?
know that guy. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, that guy's awesome.
That's me. That's me for real.
That's
I wish I
really
thought of
weird.
that.
Already?
Yeah, that's my secret channel you didn't know about. I like eating things that aren't food.
Wow. All right, guys, let's move to our Scarlet discussion. I'm
Yes.
so excited to finally talk about the mainstream games because that's my bread and butter.
Yeah, I don't think you've touched a spin-off since. That's all I've got. I don't know how
I
long
have
it's been, bro.
been off since EX, in all honesty.
All right.
Actually, no, Unite.
Oh wow, yeah, it's true.
Because I
so-
stopped playing EX before Unite, and then I haven't played anything since Unite. Spin-off wise.
So Gen 9 is, pretty much near its end, but we're still getting, updates on raids and mass outbreaks. And they just announced that we're going to get, they already passed now, is the starters Mighty Mark, and then now we're into the pseudo-legendaries Mighty Mark. I'm honestly
Ooh.
excited for some of the pseudos. I got a few I want to go after. I'm pretty sure I missed one of them that I wanted to go for, but Hydreigon, Metagross, and Tyranitar, and I think those are my favorite ones. And I guess I would say like Dragapult just for the hell of it, but I'm curious what will happen after. I'm pretty sure we'll just be stuck on like one bunch of massive outbreaks that they will forget to remove.
Beebs is waiting to talk.
So I actually just looked up, excuse me, the current special raid battles. The only ones that we missed were the Meowscarada, Skeledirge, Quaquaval, and Quaquaval actually just ended about 5 days ago. But currently, the next Terra raid to come around is the Mighty Mark Tyranitar. It runs from the 28th of March to the 30th, and then April 4th to April 6th.
Oh, I gotta
So,
do that one for sure.
I feel like we should all do that as a group.
I'll
But
do that.
circling back, I'm just hoping we get some quality of life updates to Scarlet and Violet before ZA releases. Maybe like a patch here or there to fix some of the game-breaking lag or the frame drops, or adding maybe something like something special, like if you've completed both sides of the DLC or what have you. Because as heartbreaking as the scene at the Terra pool, I'm not gonna explain it any more than that. As heartbreaking as that scene is, there was no real. I don't know how else to put it, but it feels like Blueberry Academy ended really nicely, and Teal Mask ended with that cliffhanger that leads into Blueberry Academy. But I'd like a bow on just the whole game, because if Scarlet and Violet is the finale of Gen 9 and we're moving right along to Gen 10, I feel like something needs to be done to just be like, yeah, this was something that we did. This was a game, and it is a good game. It is broken, but it's still good.
I will say, of all the recent releases, I have been slightly left a little disappointed by some things. This is the first game I felt genuinely happy to play, and well, like not really like happy to play, but like just genuinely happy to finish. And then like the DLC was actually worth investing into because I actually enjoyed the story, and it does continue from Teal Mass to the Violet Disc, Blueberry Academy part, and I don't know, but something gave me some childlike joy playing through those games, and I haven't felt that magic in a bit with Gen 8 or Gen 7, sadly, and I did enjoy them thoroughly, but I don't think we'll ever have that again, sadly. And
Oh, God,
Also, this is what I'm gonna say. Because Scarlet and Violet, love. I have to agree with Frieza on like just Gen 9 being like one of those main series games that like really brought back like the childhood like memories, I guess, or the childhood feels of enjoying a Pokemon game. Because like at least for us adults now, because like, and I'm gonna say this when we get to the ZA portion, but I haven't felt like that kind of enjoyment for a main series game since Gen 6. And yes, I did enjoy Gen 6. We'll get into that when we talk about ZA. But we definitely liked Gen 9. The only thing that I really struggled with in the beginning was just the absolute horrific frames that this game launched with. And like to this day, Game Freak, I don't really think added any patch to make the quality of life when it came to those really bad frames better. That was my only like pet peeve with this game in particular. Other than that, Gen 9 was honestly really fantastic. A fantastic story, a fantastic like set of characters. Soundtrack was good. Penny soundtrack, her battle theme, best theme, and followed by Sada and Turo. Top two themes right there.
Penny's theme is great for all like 5 seconds you hear of it before you wipe her team.
Yeah, that part too. That's why we listen to the extended versions on the internet while we're
Yeah,
like
true.
Oh yeah. If you follow Pokelli or some other like Pokemon soundtrack YouTubers, like they have all of the
Prime.
themes extended on their channels.
Yeah, Deoxys Prime is usually like the go-to like Pokemon OST uploader on YouTube.
Who's the person that I listen to?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Pokelli is also very good.
I love Pokelli. He's my go-to.
Yeah, but I was gonna add on to what was I gonna say? Gen 9, I do agree with you. It would have been great if Game Freak, again, this is more like a ZA portion of the video, but it would have been great if Game Freak tested their game out a little bit more. But to be fair, it is running on the Switch, which is basic, like very, very basic gaming hardware. So
Oh yeah.
the fact that I was even able to run at all is amazing. With the Switch 2 coming out, hopefully Gen 10 and future games should be a little bit better with open world games. But, yeah, I'll say Gen 9, it did bring back a lot of good memories and stuff, and not only because I played it with all y'all, but compared to like Gen 8 where like we're all at home during COVID, so like no one was doing anything. And the last couple of gens were not as, I wouldn't say impactful, but they didn't have that feeling. But Gen 9 was definitely up there.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Gen 7, like I liked Alola because also like I'm a tropical man. I love the tropical vibes. I love tropical like aesthetics. Gen 7, like it was okay. Like, and I'm not using the word mid because mid has usually a negative connotation to it, but like it was okay because the story was good, the generation was pretty decent, but it didn't do too much. Like it was just kind of there. I didn't like that there weren't really gyms. I love the 8 gyms dynamic, and then you fight the league. I didn't really like that they didn't have gyms in Alola because there was a lot of potential for that. And also like the game, like Gen 6 was a little too easy. And then with Gen 8, oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, continue.
And then with Gen 8, like you brought back like that was the first like real Switch like port for Pokemon. And so, Gen 8, I mean, the game was really polished. It was really, like, graphics were great. I mean, the region was good. The aesthetics were good. I think that was, like, the first game where they were really experimenting with their, like, Wild Zones being the full-on 3D experience, especially on, like, a new modern-day console. I just feel like the story was lacking in terms of depth and characters, really. Like, we had a plethora of characters, but we didn't really have a lot of, like, development or depth, really. Like, there wasn't really even an evil team posing a threat to Galar. And even when we did get that one evil looming threat, it was literally such a short arc that it was almost forgettable.
That's completely fair, but I think we should save this for the ZA portion because I think we can relate, especially with Galar and Paldea. We can compare them to ZA and
Oh yeah, and Kalos.
yeah.
Which I think is ZA the next portion. No, we have champions to talk about.
Champions.
No champions.
We finally get something that may be more towards the competitive scene in battle simulation. No longer, well, I'm sure people will still use Smoke on Pokemon Battle, I think it is, or
Pokemon Showdown.
Pokemon Showdown.
Thank you.
Showdown.
That is where I used to grind out a lot of my hours back in the day as a youngster, and I'm honestly excited because this will, give us some more use for home, and we'll push an update to the home systems. I'm really curious to see if this will be like Pokemon Revolutions and Coliseum, where we'll get like announcers and some smooth, cool animations for the Pokemon, or it'll just be recycling stuff.
I'm really hoping it's more closer to the Stadium Revolution side of things, where it's more unique and more just focuses on the battle experience. I think that would be a lot more fun. But it is also for phones and stuff, so I don't want to hype myself up too much, but just having a pure battle thing is still nice. It's probably going to have...
on the Switch playing. It's going to be...
No, I know that, but it's on both. Like, it's supposed to be the same across. Like, one version's not better than the other, allegedly.
That's very true.
This is just Pokemon Battle Revolution for a new age. I am a very happy Beeb.
Beeb, if we get into that game hardcore, I'm going to play it on Switch and on my phone.
Now here's the question: Did it say anything about crossplay between devices?
No,
or are we going to have another cafe situation?
I think that's still in development because if it runs on the home system, I think it's gonna be cross progression because the home is cross use. I wonder if there'll be more features on the phone or more features on the Switch, though. I think they want to try and balance it where it's for both. I'm also curious because we saw Terastal and Mega, obviously because that will link to ZA and Gen 6, I guess, area. But I wonder if we'll see Z moves again. Obviously, that'll be tough because the home didn't really allow you to have items in hand. So that'll be curious.
I'm hoping it's just everything. Full bars, Dynamax, Z moves, Mega Evolution, the whole stops.
I'm very excited for Champions. I mean, this has such a good potential for the competitive scene, like Frieza said. But then on top of that, we can do our battles as a DM group and with our patrons too, if we ever wanted to. Think about that. Fostering community.
Are you eating popcorn while we do this?
No.
It sounded like you had your mouth full.
Maybe.
Damn it, Imperial. The more you deny your addiction, the worse it looks.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Shall we get to the main event?
Anyway, anything else about Champions, you guys, that you want to talk about with our little patron group?
Blue?
I'm all good here. I'm excited to talk about ZA.
Oh, the final
I think we should.
Time for the big ticket, baby. Now
The main event.
Oh boy.
Pokemon Zaza or Pokemon Z.
Zaza.
Why
I think we should start calling it now. I'm gonna start calling it Zaza now.
The second Legends installment to the game. Honestly, a lot of people were expecting Johto Legends or even Legends Unova, personally. I would like to see Reshiram in its true form.
Same here.
Anyway, hopefully we can get some X and Y lore finished, as X and Y was relatively an unfinished product in my eyes, and even Puzzle over there would agree. And I'd like to point out a funny joke where I think the X and Y mom got with Sycamore, and these are the characters that we're playing as a secret love child.
To be perfectly honest, how could you not get with Sycamore? Look at him.
Professor
How could you also
Sexamore.
not get with Player Mom?
Professor Sexamore, hell yeah.
A French professor? I mean,
The
you
French
can't go wrong
professor
with
had to be horned up. Come on, guys.
He's hot.
He is a very handsome lad.
Also, the
I just
mom,
gotta
like,
say,
five
you go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I just made that comment.
Nah,
Oh no,
go
talking
ahead,
about how
Mike.
hot the mom is.
Yes.
It's okay, I get it. I'm happy to see Gen 6 back, though. When it was first announced that we were getting Legend ZA last year, I was actually very excited to see it return to Kalos over the expected Johto or Unova remake. It seems like we really didn't get a lot with Kalos, and I gotta say, I'm really excited to see Zygarde in its prime. I mean, we all know Pokemon Z was canceled. That's like pretty well known now, I think, especially with all the big leaks that happened recently. So it's good to finally see Zygarde in like the limelight and finally get its flowers,
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, no. I was so excited for Z because it'd be like, oh my god, so much unfinished Kalos lore that we could have, and then no, never came.
Yeah, man, I think that
Yeah, there's so much stuff they could have expanded upon it, and also half the map, the South Kalos stuff, people talk about it all the time, but like seriously, it's so ridiculous how much of the map is just empty in the real game.
I think that was like the first time Game Freak we can legitimately say they did not finish a generation like Black and White. There's always like a secondary like Ultra version or like Black and White 2 or Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. There's something right after it.
Yeah, or
Sword and-
DLC.
Yeah, Sword and Shield Gen 8 and Gen 9 don't count because of their DLCs existed, but yeah. Go ahead, Beebs.
There was always a third game. I think that's the sentiment we were pulling up here. Generation 6, as someone who hasn't beaten it, but I played X when it first came out, and now that I found my 3DS, I'm actually going to continue my playthrough. X and Y is woefully unfinished. There is so much stuff that needs to be explored. Why did the Pokemon War happen? What does Lysander have to do with all of this? AZ, how is he alive? Are we actually getting Eternal Flower Floette in this game? Because it is there, and its signature move has been in the games since Gen 6. So mayhaps, when we complete the story of this game, whatever it is, AZ gives us Floette. Mayhaps. Like, this entire game is a wealth of speculation fuel, from the Sycamore love child protagonist to why is the rival different depending on your gender. I remember seeing a theory that they were like a Hisui and Zoroark, and I'm baffled by it, but honestly, that could make sense. Who knows? But I'm really excited for ZA. I was hoping to get like more of a past angle on things, because they set a really good example with Legends Arceus. But the post X and Y era setting is really good. I'm just wondering how it's all going to come together. From what we've seen, it looks really good. It looks really creative. But it's only a matter of time before we figure out whether or not this is going to work.
Yeah, so I was gonna bounce off of just my thoughts with ZA. I am a Gen 6, and I wouldn't say like Glazer, like I said earlier, I am a Gen 6 enjoyer. I did enjoy X and Y for what it was. Was the potential for more there? 100%. I just thought that the game was too easy, and that the amount of Pokemon I got with 6 was severely underwhelming. 12-year-old me was like, this isn't right. But, yeah, I would say Gen 6 just has so much potential in ZA. I swear to God, Game Freak, if you ever were to listen to us, do not mess up ZA, please. We want Kalos to feel complete. And this is my biggest caveat with ZA before I go into my positives. I'm not going to say I don't like this concept. I'm going to say I'm not fond of the concept of it being restricted to us being in Lumiose and Lumiose only, because that's the vibe I'm getting just from the direct.
They already said that. It's only Lumiose.
Damn,
That's
really?
what you mean.
They said it when it was announced last year. It's all in Lumiose. I'm kind of intrigued because it's interesting to me to see a Pokemon game that's exclusively fully in an expansive city environment. I know that's why they mentioned the wild sections. I'm actually intrigued because most Pokemon games, they are just like the routes and the fields, and the cities just kind of suck and there's not much to do in it. So I'm intrigued to see how they make the city feel alive, but it is interesting how that will work with all the Pokemon capturing mechanics.
Yeah, to piggyback off of you, Plank, the issue is not only like the fact that it's more of like a corridor type of wild area thing that they have going on here, which is why I'm a little bit hesitant. Like, let's be honest, we're all still gonna buy the games regardless, like no matter what, because it's the next Pokemon game. I'm just a little bit worried after coming off of Arceus, where they, with the new formula that they started doing with the Legend series, they nailed it pretty hard in the first game, and the fact that they're switching to this, I'm not saying the game might be bad, but I'm just a little bit worried about the corridor system and going from street to street, where yes, it's still open world, but it's more restricted.
No, I totally get where you're coming from, because I was a little suspicious of the wild zones too, because I'm like, it doesn't make sense to just have these random wild zones in the middle of a city. Like, it doesn't make sense that like you just go into like you go down this one street in literally Paris, and oh my god, it's actually like a giant ass like nature preservation for like a certain species of animal. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, obviously this game is fiction, but like it just doesn't make a lot of sense, like realistically, even in like the Pokemon universe. It's like, okay, yeah, you want Pokemon and people to coexist in the city, but like these random wild areas in the middle of the metropolis, interesting.
Well, it's part of the game's story. They're rebuilding Lumiose, so it's better for people and Pokemon.
No, I know. It's just like, it just is a very interesting take on wild. Also, Frieza has his hand up.
So I kind of like this idea with Legends that we all thought was gonna be past. So this gives us a good indicator if they ever do another one again, that it won't just be the past, and that we might get even future games that may be more about after. And so I kind of like that formula for that. I am curious how this game will play out a lot. I'm sure there's something to do with expanding the zones. Maybe because it's the development of Lumiose, maybe will help develop more wildlife areas for the Pokemon, and maybe help maintain a very healthy ecosystem with human and Pokemon. I'm also very big fan of these starters choices. Very interesting, because a lot of people were speculating, but I like this.
I'm happy you brought up the starters. I was actually going to talk about them. Have we all decided which ones we're getting? Actually, before I get on that, how do we feel about the idea of new forms? Because personally, I'm not sure if we're getting new forms or new megas, but the fact that they gave Chikorita... Well, Chikorita got a fairy-type move, though.
Yeah. I was going to say, we've basically gotten confirmation that Chikorita is going to become Grass Fairy just because it learns a Fairy-type move. So I'm assuming that means Mega Meganium.
I'm assuming that we're all going to get Mega starters. And Mega Feraligatr, give it to me right now. That is my boy.
Yes, please.
Wait, real quick, guys. Do we all know what starters we're picking? Because I was stuck between Chikorita and Tepig, but I think I'm getting Tepig.
Are you serious, Blank?
Yeah.
I'm side-eyeing you.
I'm Team Totodile with Imperial, but I was going to go with Tepig, honestly. But Totodile. Totodile.
I'm actually stuck for this one. I like all of them. I think I'm with you.
Yeah, it's good
for Chikorita and Tepig, because I love Tepig. He's actually one of my favorite Fire-type starters.
Tepig is awesome.
He is cool.
I'm an Emboar hater, I'll admit it.
I love the noise that Tepig makes, just the...
Flu?
Yeah, I'm not... I hate to be a hater, but...
It's okay, we need a hater.
Yeah, I know, but I'm sorry, but Chikorita, I to this, and I'm going to be very vocal about this, but I really think it's the worst starter they could have picked for the game. I'm not a big fan of Chikorita at all. Like, I think it's not a great starter.
So I have a theory as to why they chose Chikorita.
Because
I was kind of disappointed that, in my opinion, what would have made this harder for me to pick my starter is if they did Snivy as the grass starter. So a little lore fact about me for our patrons is Totodile was my very first starter. I started playing the game when I was, or Pokemon in general, when my first game was Soul Silver. And I was like 7 years old. And like I remember just like going to pick my starters and I picked Totodile because I didn't like how Chikorita looked. And Cyndaquil, I was like, I don't know if I want a fire guy. So my 7-year-old butt was like, ooh, cool blue alligator, mine. So Totodile has a very special place in my heart because he was my first ever starter. But then Black and White was my second game ever, and I picked Snivy. And I'm a Superior fan. As much as the moveset's kind of trash, the design of Superior, pretty good. But the fact that they made Chikorita the grass starter, it makes it easy for me to pick Totodile. But I'm just saying, Game Freak, if you did Snivy, and like, if you did Snivy Tepig Totodile, or even if you did Snivy Score Bunny Totodile, that would have made it really hard for me.
But I was gonna say, between the starters of what I'm probably gonna choose, it's probably gonna be Totodile. I'm not the biggest fan of Tepig either.
Yeah,
Wow.
Totodile.
Yeah.
No
Again,
Chikoritas here. Maybe I might pick
You know what?
Chikorita
For
because I
this,
love
I'll
love
pick
that guy.
Chikorita now. I'll pick
No,
Chikorita.
because I love Chikorita. Like, I always was a Cyndaquil picker for Gen 2, but slowly over time, I think I actually like Chikorita more. It might be my favorite Gen 2 starter. I just love the little guy. Whole family's great. Yeah,
So-
no, people dog on it too hard. I really think it's not that bad.
I mean, Chikorita's not bad. It's just like there's so many better picks.
No,
Yeah,
it's
that's-
awesome. I love Chikorita.
Yeah.
So this actually just came out relatively recently. Sources from really good leakers, like really trusted leakers, have already discovered leaks about new megas.
Yeah, this is from a while ago. I remember
Bring
this.
up for alligator, please.
Yes, so
Mega
the
Flygon?
starters. So apparently the starters are getting megas, not new forms, and the Kalos starters are getting megas.
Okay, that was kind of obvious.
Wait, so are we getting a Mega Ashray Ninja? And I'm just like,
Yeah.
just a
Well, no,
Mega-
that's why they got rid of Ashford Ninja.
So are they just gonna use the same design? Oh, sorry.
Here's some of the names of Pokemon that apparently are getting new megas. If you do not want to hear this, you can skip. I'll probably have to input a area of spoilers. Clefable, Victreebel, Starmie, Dragonite, Skarmory, Frostlass, Excadrill, Scolipede, Scrafty, Chandelure, Pyroar, Dragalge, Haluncha, Floette Eternal, Barbarical, Zygarde, Drampa, Phalanx, and Zeraora.
Damn it, not even a fucking
Zeraora.
Flygon! Shafted again!
To be fair, I think the
Wait,
reason
wait,
why
wait, wait,
Frieza-
Frieza. Did you say Scrafty or was I not paying attention?
Scrafty, yes.
Okay, because I have the same list pulled up.
Crafty.
My
I'm so
theory
mad.
for Flygon is because Gen 3 already got a good treatment of Megas back in Oras. So
Who gives a
that-
shit? Flygon didn't get the mega. He deserved it.
No, I'm completely with you, Beebs. Like, I really think Flygon got shafted once again, but I hope at
I want to give you my opinion. I'm excited for some of these though, like Victreebel and Starmie. I'm excited to see Skarmie's.
What's the Mega
interesting.
Chandelure? Chandelure is like
Chandelure.
one common.
Yeah, Chandelure I'm interested in, but I'm still so mad. My
Oh,
boy
I
Flygon,
forgot
my
to say
favorite
Pyroar.
pseudo. You said Pyroar.
Oh, but anyway,
My-
so this
my
confirms
favorite
Floette
student gets
Eternal is
crafted.
something we will either see or get.
27 new megas, huh?
What I noticed with that list that you read out,
Flygon.
Golden Frieza is like half of that list, or like a 1/3 of that list that you just read off is all Gen 5, which I'm actually happy about. So
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all, they are teasing everybody with Unova.
Well, what's
Yep.
crazy
Like-
is actually, we got some later gen Pokemon too, actually. Drampa, Phalanx, and Zeraora.
So does this mean we can finally get Zeraora?
Zeraora has been out officially.
Yeah, we've been able to get him in. I have him in Sword and Shield.
Wasn't he only available from an event?
No,
Yes.
no, there was Terra Raid event. There was I think
Yeah,
a shiny,
that.
if you did like a certain amount of the raids though, you got like a shiny one.
I'm saying this because my ass doesn't have Zeraora, so
I do. Frieza and I have
I
Zeraora.
hope he's easier to get in ZA.
I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
Well,
There's
the
a
thing is
meta,
with
they're
Legends
probably
Arceus, you can get them in game, so I imagine you can just get Zeraora in game.
I hope so.
Probably. If anything, I have him in my home, so I could just transfer him over if I really wanted to.
I'm gonna be legit. I'm looking at the mega list. I'm actually kind of a big fan. They picked a lot of randoms. Sure, some strong guys got megas like Chandelure and Starmie and Clefable, but like a lot of the later gen guys, I kind of dig.
Yeah.
I kind of dig them. Like Drampa, that guy's not getting an evolution. He needs a mega.
Wait, guys, I have a question.
This is what I've been complaining about. They need to give Pokemon that are like off to the side some megas because some of them didn't deserve it.
I have a
I dig
question.
this. I'm excited to see these.
So I have a question. So it's coming from the ranked list. The Mega Chandelure, one, I want to put on my team, but two, it reminded me of when, as a kid in Black and White, Chantal's Chandelure traumatized the hell out of me. Because 10-year-old Imperial just couldn't do it. Against her Chandelure for the longest time until we got lucky with a critical hit. But anyway, so do you think, because I also heard Scrafty might be getting a possible evolution, do you think that if they do the Gen 5 remake, do you think they're going to add megas to that?
I don't think so.
Probably
I actually have a
not.
theory with this thing. I think megas are gonna be in the next mainline game after the Legends thing. So all the new designs
That's
can be
even
playable in a
better.
game, but then I think they might go back to like not existing for a while.
Yeah, I think for Gen 10 they should definitely bring like megas back because megas was a huge hit.
I'm
Yeah.
curious about like their abilities, viability, and competitive already. I'm like, because there's some like interesting combos. Dragalge, Poison Dragon's gonna be interesting. Will it change its type? Like, there's so much we can speculate with these megas, what they can do, and I'm like super excited. This is like, I was really hoping we'd get Mega Kling Klang because of that stupid leak.
Yeah, I agree.
I want Mega Kling so bad.
That'd actually be fire. Like a steel. Yep. Go ahead.
We need to talk from.
Imagine Mega Garbodor.
Yes.
We already have a Gmax form for him, but damn, imagine that thing is a Mega.
I do want to say one thing though, which is kind of odd to me. So, Mega Glalie existed, and they made Mega Frostlass for this to pair out that pairing, so both sides. It's like how Mega Gallade and Mega Gardevoir are a thing. But they didn't make a Mega Slowking. So Slowking's still kind of just left out in the mud. That's kind of sad. I'm not a fan of that.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I
I also
okay.
want to point out Dragonite getting a Mega, meaning Dragonite.
Oh yeah, you're right. Dragonite.
Dragonite?
Dragonite. Speaking of pseudos, that makes
that's
what the fourth Mega pseudo because we have
Let's see,
Mega.
Dragonite, Tyranitar, Metagross,
Gar-
Salamence, Garchomp,
Garchomp.
and
Hydreigon. I'm surprised
Hi.
Hydreigon hasn't got one yet.
Hydreigon was a, they had to nerf him. Remember, he was an absolute monster.
Oh, no.
He was
Yeah, before the fairy type came out,
yeah,
like
he's
this
an
thing was
absolute
like
monster.
yeah, but it's getting sidelined now, and
Hey,
Feel
dude,
sad.
I still love that. That's my favorite.
I
pseudo right
love
there.
Hydreigon.
Yeah.
My favorite pseudo will always be Flygon. I am going to hold this against Game Freak for the rest of my life. Give
Okay.
Flygon a Mega, motherfuckers.
again, Beebs, I'm with you right there. That
Yeah.
motherfucker, ever since Salamence. I mean, if you're playing through Gen 3, you either
You have
choose
the
Salamence, you have the chance of Salamence or Flygon as your main dragon user, and Flygon has always been shafted.
Flygon it has always been the better choice.
It's just-
Yes.
It's crazy that like all these like really OP Pokemon got it. That's like my biggest complaint about Mega was like Lucario obviously had to get it, like, but like Garchomp definitely did not need that shit. Let's
No,
be real
and
here.
the thing is they got
Mega
worse.
Garchomp sucks.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I was gonna say. But go ahead, Beebs.
Here's a question. So, with all of the Megas, are we gonna get a repeat of what happened in X and Y? And are we just gonna get given one?
I'm sure we are. I'm
I
I imagine our starters are gonna get given
hope
like a stone.
Well, aside from the starters, like, y'all remember the Lucario, right? Y'all remember Karina's Lucario that imprinted on you and was like, I want that one. Like,
Yes.
are we gonna get another that?
Another freebie.
Yeah, are
No,
we gonna get
Probably.
another
I
freebie?
imagine we might get like the Kalos starters as a gift or something, and then they give you
Oh,
the
for
Mega
sure.
Stone.
So give me my I'm gonna choose Fennekin if that's the case, because I
No,
chose
same.
Chespin in X and Y thinking that the Chespin line was gonna be fire, and I was so disappointed.
Me
Oh,
too,
come on.
brother, me too.
Chespin's my goat. I love the whole Chespin line.
Oh, I
I'm
love
picking.
Chespin.
I
Don't
love
get me wrong.
Chespin.
It was actually pretty good, yeah.
I
like
No, I love
Chestnut.
Chestnut.
Only Chespin.
Nah,
I like Chespin.
Chestnut's the goat. If Chestnut's colors were different and it was like brown instead of white, I think people would love it so much more.
I will say Chestnut Shiny is really good, but Chestnut, just its design, I was not expecting a grass fighting. I think my biggest reason for why I didn't like Chestnut was because of the typing.
Yeah, it's not the colors that make me not like Chestnut. It's just his design. Like, Chespin was really good. Quilladin was kind of awkward looking. Oh dear gods, what happened?
Pretty much.
Yep. But I was gonna add on to that. Besides my shit talking basically with the ZA starters, I would say the Gen 6 starters, I love them. All three of them are excellent. Like I love Fennekin, Froaki's really good, and Chespin is also very good. I don't know what to choose if I do have the option to choose a second starter, but
I will say, if we do get this Kalos starters, I mean, granted, I'm gonna bounce off of what Blue said. I was also really excited for the Kalos starters. When they revealed the Kalos starters in X and Y, I was so excited because I'm like, all three of them looked like they had potential.
Yeah.
And two of the three did. So that was fun. And the one that really disappointed me was Chespin, even though I chose Chespin. I'm gonna choose Fennekin if that's the case, because I feel like if I pick Froakie in this day and age, I feel like that's a basic pick. Sorry, not sorry to those who love Froakie. Even though Froakie and Greninja are still a fantastic line, I'm gonna pick Fennekin because I feel like Fennekin is also kind of slept on.
it is.
Because Delphox, I like its design, and also like Fire Psychic, you don't get a lot of that.
Yeah. Actually, people still kind of shit talk on Delphox as like the final evolution, but I actually love the whole Fennekin line.
I
I love all the
Delphox.
Kalos starters. I think it's a fantastic trio, and all of them are great.
Yeah.
I think people were mad that Delphox got on twos, not all fours.
Yeah, same shit with Meowscarada.
Yeah.
And Incineroar.
Meowscarada's also my goat.
I
Meowscarada
want
is
to say that I think Delphox gets the heat because of all the art, and same with Meowscarada. But
Yeah.
the reason I chose Delphox because I was like, oh, a fire type that won't be a fighting type. I saw the leaks. I was like, oh yeah, this will be great. Then I'll take that.
Oh yeah, that was like the first time in like what, since Gen 2 where there was it was not a fighting type. Yeah, so Gen 3 was just fighting, Gen 4 was fighting, Gen 5 was fighting. So
Yeah, so
Since-
first time in a long time.
since what? When did Gen 2
Gen
get
2.
released? Since
That's like-
1999. They have not,
Gen 3, not Gen 2.
no, but I'm
Gen 3
saying
is
since,
when it started.
no, I'm saying since 1999 we have not experienced a full starter that was not a fighting type as its final evolution.
Right.
That's why the Embor hate is so forced because it's a firefighter.
Embor's
Oh,
the goat.
Embor is just Embor.
Embor's awesome. Fuck off, man.
Dude, I'll be real, dude. The only stars I felt that had misses was genuinely Gen 8. I did not like Gen 8 stars as much. I like their baby forms, and I did not like their...
Okay, I will say Scorbunny is the only redeeming factor in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't like Inteleon and Rillaboom.
I just listen. Grookey, Thwacky were great. Sobble was great, and then Scorbunny was great. Everything else after that was just like I could care less personally.
Yeah, that's
I don't know, I
fair.
think you're sleeping on Scorbunny because
I love
Cinderace
Scorbunny and
was
Reboot
bad.
though. Those guys are awesome.
Reboot and Cinderace were pretty fire, literally.
I like Cinderace too, but it's my least favorite of the line, I will admit.
Yeah, I'll say that, but like, you know, it staying a pure fire type was kind of goated because I know for a fact Game Freak didn't want to make it firefighting. I knew for a fact Game Freak didn't want to make it firefighting because its design was literally like a soccer player. I'm like, nah, you can make that a fighting type if you really wanted to, but no, they weren't gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm happy it's also just a pure type.
Yeah, they played
Also
very
just-
safe with Gen 8 starters, but
Yeah, and also I like its signature move. I think I like the pyro.
was cool. Yeah, the signature move was cool.
And
Yeah,
then
Pyro
the
Ball's
Gigantamax
awesome.
form, that man sits on a ball of lava. So, Cinderace is honestly probably the only starter that I would really go for Gen 8. Like, I will never pick Grookey or Sobble willingly.
Yeah, same here.
even competitively, it's basically just Greninja, but a fire type. Because I remember its hidden ability, it's the same as Greninja's. If it's not
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
what does it have? Libero. Yeah, it's a copy of Protean.
Yeah. So it's actually pretty decent.
Oh yeah.
I
So
think it's the clip from when Sword and Shield came out of me absolutely tanking Chairman Rose with my sweet baby Bun Bun.
no.
Bon.
Listen, I got my rabbit starter, and that's kind of all I needed. I love Score Bunny.
Literally.
Yeah.
Score Bunny's the best.
We are
My
all
brother
Score
was
Bunny
literally
supporters.
like, if you pick Score Bunny, you're basic. But it's like, Score Bunny is kind of the correct pick.
Yeah, like, come on,
kind of-
they laid it out.
It's kind of the only pick, honestly, but Rillaboom is also pretty deep. Pretty cool.
Oh, wait, I want to mention something real quick.
Yep.
So before Pokemon Day, I predicted that we were going to get some Binacle stuff. And if this leak is true, we get Mega Barbaracle, which is huge. That's probably the biggest thing that's happened to Barbaracle in, like, since its release.
Since it's released.
Real.
I'm probably going to use Barbaracle, like, purely off of this.
I liked Barbaracle a lot. And
Listen, I think for a Barnacle Pokemon, it's probably one of the, like, best designs I can think of.
I think it's a great Pokemon, honestly.
I fucking love Binacle and Barbaracle. They're awesome. People just shit on them because Barnacles are ugly, which, like, they are.
I was gonna add on to Gen 6 being unfinished. The fact that it also has the least amount of Pokemon, like, in a introduced generation. I think it's only because they were transitioning to 3D is that they didn't have enough time to fully flesh out their story, their Pokemon, and that's what hopefully Pokemon Zaza as Golden Frieza, Golden Frieza says it. I think it'll basically be like the platinum of like the Gen 6 games where like it fixes the decks, hopefully, and actually finishes out the generation.
Oh, you know what I hope? I hope they bring back the shiny noise from Legends Arceus, because fucking Scarlet and Violet got rid of that for no goddamn reason.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right,
I
wait.
agree.
Who has bets on first shiny?
Dude,
You.
I got a
You.
shiny in Scarlet and Violet like 10 minutes into it when that game came
You
out. I had a shiny
gamer.
fletchling.
I'm willing to bet Plank gets it first.
But real quick,
you get it first, Frieza.
Frieza, you're gonna
Imperial.
get it for shiny. Yeah, what's up?
I'm gonna
Yeah,
purposely
shiny.
avoid the wild areas to not get it day one. A shiny day.
You're
And
lying.
you're still gonna
You have to
bump
go
into
through
a
the
shiny
other-
Frieza. What? You're still gonna bump into one.
Listen. If I don't get a shiny
You're lucky you're
first
gonna get
week,
shiny
if I don't get a shiny
Totodile.
first week, I will call that a miracle. I've been
So
on a
will
dry
we.
spell. I've been on a dry spell, guys. I don't know how to
Oh,
tell you.
I'm on a dry spell. Guys, I'm on a dry spell. I'm Golden Frieza.
One, maybe one. So
Oh, you caught one.
yeah.
Interesting.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
One, how many
Interesting.
impressed
Whoa.
are that?
That's low. Let's be real here. That's low, and especially with new odds, that's low. Come on, let's be real here.
Nah, brother. Nah.
Literally, you're not escaping this. Like, you're literally outcasted here. Like, I hope you know that.
I'm gonna now stop shiny hunting. Maybe then.
No, we know you're not gonna stop shiny hunting.
I do. You're right. I can't help myself. I love shiny hunting.
But yeah, I was gonna continue with the ZA. Evil Team. How's Team Flare gonna be introduced or
Oh, so
reintroduced?
I want
I
to talk
think-
about this more too. So, I'll go and then Plank if you want to chime in. So, I definitely think the urban planners definitely have some connection to Team Flare. So, for context, I am a full believer. Obviously, this game takes place way after X and Y. Because I wouldn't say way after, but like has to take maybe a couple years after. Because AZ has the Floette. Very plain and simple. Like AZ has Floette again. They've been, working at this hotel and like he seems relatively happy again. So I'm hoping that they explain what happened between X and Y in the events of ZA. Maybe we get a little insight as to like how Kalos has been doing the past, I guess, decade. And this is also where I like that ZA will also like take, or Legends will take people into the future as well. Because I also heard the leaks that like the next Legends game was going to take place in the future because the first game took place in the past. So I thought that was a cool concept, and it looks like ZA is taking place in like a present day future, if that makes sense. So I feel like maybe what they're doing with ZA is it being the second Legends game, it's going to be like a modern day, present kind of theme, and then the next Legends game is going to be maybe far future. But getting ahead of myself, ZA I want to know what AZ, like I want to know like what's going on with him, and I want to know what happened between X and Y and now, and then also I want to know like what's the Urban Planners deal, because I already get a shady vibe from them and that they're the secret evil team.
I'm not sure if Team Flare is going to be involved in the new game, to be honest, but the urban planning guys, they're definitely evil, right?
Maybe they're using them as like the front of the evil team, and then the evil team is going to be like a plot twist. Maybe it's going to be like a Chairman Rose situation where there's a plot twist, but they do the plot twist actually well.
Maybe. Who knows?
Because-
The last couple of generations, the evil teams have been corporation. Like Gen 7 was a foundation, Gen 8 was a corporation straight up, and Gen 9 was just Gen 9. So
Gen 9's
Right.
kind of unique.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
just
Gen
excited to
9
get
really
there.
hurt people. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I'm just excited to play the games. I think this is gonna be a fun game.
I'm just really excited for like Totodile, because if the leaked megas are true, I've been seeing like a water rock or a water steel for alligator.
Ooh, water steel would be kind of sick.
Water steel for alligator would go hard. Say what you want about Empoleon, fucking steel for alligator, that's where it should be at.
I know there's a bunch of people upset with Employer not making it, but I'm glad Totodile is on it.
Listen, if I was Game Freak, what I really would have done was, I remember the leaks of ZA, like even like a while back before the first direct last year. I remember like the rumored starters would be like Snivy, Piplup, and Score Bunny. Is what I saw. I saw a concept, or it was a concept or a fake leak, I forget.
A lot of people are saying that.
Yeah, I was seeing those as the starters, and then like they were gonna get megas, and like the reason why I kind of wanted Snivy to get something was because if Superior got a mega, supposedly the supposed typing that people were speculating was Grass Ghost Superior,
That would have been interesting.
and that would have been so sick.
Yeah. I'm not sure how I would feel about Score Bunny. I love Score Bunny, but I'm not sure how I would feel with Score Bunny literally getting a mega like the same generation it's been introduced. I mean, I wouldn't be against it, but it would have been a little bit weird to see it.
It would have been an
get a
odd
follow-up.
100%.
Yeah.
I think another reason why they chose Chikorita for the starters is because I saw a TikTok. I forgot who I sent to. I might have sent it to Beebs, but there was a TikTok about like there was some guy was like explaining why Chikorita got chosen over Snivy. It's because Chikorita hasn't been like a really prevalent starter in recent years. Like we had Snivy for a decent amount of things, but like Chikorita needed a bit of love in terms of like how frequently or how recent like their pick was in terms of Game Freak's timeline, I guess.
I mean, it's
So I
been
think
a
that's
while
why they
since the
chose
Johto
Chikorita.
starters.
Also, Beebs got hand raised.
Yeah, I feel like they chose Chikorita not just because, you know, it needs a little bit more recognition, but it is also the most hated starter. This is a chance to give it a new life, a new lease on life, as it were. And it's also funny to just think of, it's like, where's Cyndaquil? You look at Hisui and Cyndaquil's fighting for his life.
Yeah,
Poor thing.
Cyndaquil got taken to the past, whereas Totodile and Chikorita are remaining in the present.
Or, well, the future. Sort
well,
of, mayhaps.
That's what I don't know if you heard when you ran to the bathroom, Beebs. I was saying that I think ZA is gonna do. I'm sticking to my theory when it comes to the Legends series that they're gonna do a trilogy of past, present, future, and I feel like it's gonna be like ZA is gonna take place in 2025, being the present, with X and Y being referred to as the past,
Yeah.
and it might be a little futuristic, but maybe not totally. And then I feel like the next Legends game is gonna be like future, like not maybe Turo era future, but future.
That's going to be the Alola one.
Aw, not
Oh, yeah.
Giga Chad, not Giga Chad Daddy future? Damn.
No, unfortunately not.
Damn.
Also, Game Freak, give us shirtless Turo, please. Thank you.
Please? Gods, is that really what we're gonna end this on?
Yeah.
No.
No, that's a really funny way to end it. What are you talking about?
Exactly. That's the funniest way to end it on, because honestly, I feel like we've talked a lot.
Simping. That's the
Actually,
best
you know
way
what?
to end
I'll say one thing. No Gen 9 Megas on that list. Where's Mega Spidopt?
Where's
Mega
Mega
Spider.
Dodon?
No,
Where's
we
Mega
need-
Dodon Sparse?
Wait.
So
What
true,
about
though.
What about the pig's evolution? I forgot the name of the pig.
Oinklone?
Oinkalone?
Yes, Oinkalone Mega, please.
Nah, Lechonk Mega. He just turns into a
Lechonk?
Wendy's Baconator.
Lechonk.
Also, Plank and Frieza, if you could confirm, there's no Gen 3 Mega.
Let me dig through the list again.
Is what's the name?
Skarmory?
Skarmory's Gen 2, right?
Armory's Gen 2.
Yeah, there's no Gen 3.
Okay, that makes perfect sense.
That's not too surprising though, because they got
Yeah.
like 16 or
They got a
17
flat
one.
one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
like
got
Gen
some.
5 and oh, you know what? I'm looking through this again. Mega Dragalge is pretty sick. Hawlucha. That's some good Gen 6 megas.
Lucha will be very cool. Oh my god.
Yeah, like those are some good ones.
Yeah.
They had to cut Flygon on purpose though, right?
Yeah.
Like it has to be like a joke at this point.
No, they're trolling at this point. They know.
Fuck 'em.
Like Ken Sugimori even said after Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire that they almost did Mega Flygon, but he couldn't think of a design.
That's
Couldn't think of a
That is
design.
bullshit.
No Mega yet, Mega?
Justice
No
for
Mega.
Flygon.
Mega, yeah, Mega.
Well, now we got Mega Meganium, which is not as stupid sounding, but almost.
What do you guys think?
Meganium.
What do you guys think Embor's Mega is gonna be? Like,
I think it's gonna be
typing-wise?
the same type.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
That would
that's
actually
a
be funny.
Changing a little bit though. I could see it being like Fire Dark or even Fire Rock.
Yeah, I could see that, but
Firefighting.
Firefighting.
such a
Fire
waste.
water. That was fun.
Fire
That's a-
water would be interesting, but isn't that what one of the
Volcanion
beads
is fire water.
Yeah.
we don't talk about Volcanion in its CMY shiny color palette.
oh,
So
I
at
hated
some-
shiny color palette. Ugh.
So at some point, Embor was, I think it was the only fire Pokemon to receive a water move. It learned Scald. I'm not sure if they removed that at some point.
No, it still learns it.
It still learns Scald. I just
Yeah.
find that hilarious. That's
Wait.
why I mentioned water as its Mega.
Wait, Blue and Frieza, you guys are, well, mostly Frieza, but I'm asking Blue too. One of the treasures of Ruin, that stupid fucking fish. What is that thing's type?
Fire Dark.
Fire Dark. Damn it!
Yeah, it's
That
fire.
It should have been fire water.
It could have been fire water.
Yeah, that was
Should
It really
have
could
fire
have been.
water.
It should have been, but I'm okay with it. They're all supposed to be dark types. That's why they're all supposed to be dark types.
That makes
That's the
sense.
gimmick there.
I'm also
Should have
really
been water
excited.
dark then, but that's just me.
That would take the spotlight away from Greninja, though.
No, I think
That's
the biggest
true.
thing is it's supposed to swim through the land, and it's supposed to be like magma. Like it turns like the land to magma. That's why.
It's a stupid fucking fish. That's what it is.
It's the best one. Oh my
It
god.
is.
Will we get
Shiny
the
wise,
shinies
it's
of
the
them
best.
And the shinies of the
Probably in an event.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the Chi-Yu event, bruh. That shiny looks so good.
Frieza, I was going through the leak Twitter, and they mentioned something interesting from a couple days ago. They say the day is almost over, and be warned, Lumiose nights are not the same.
Yeah.
Did you notice there is a nighttime gameplay? You'll understand soon enough. So I imagine there's some nighttime stuff going on.
I have a theory.
Sure, go ahead.
I have a theory. So we've all kind of been speculating about how Xerneas and Yveltal will play a role in ZA. We've discussed this patrons off camera, but what if the reason why like Pokemon go aggressive is because Yveltal's fucking with something, and that's why
Yeah,
it's so bad to go
Yveltal.
out on night. Like Yveltal is just doing something and fucking shit up.
Probably. I mean, Yveltal, I will say Yveltal next to Garantina is probably one of my favorite legendaries. Like, its design and its typing and Oblivion Wing, oh my god, I love it.
It's shiny as undercooked bacon, though.
Yeah,
That
but
is very
Oblivion
cool.
Wing's a
That's
cool
why I like
name.
its base form. I don't really like
Oh,
its
yeah,
shiny.
the base colors are great. I'm a Xerneas girly myself. I like the pretty forest guardian from Princess Mononoke.
See, the thing is, when I was playing Y, I kind of wanted to get my hands on Xerneas after having Yveltal on my team for a while, because I was like, damn, I kind of want a fairy legendary just because it's a new typing.
Yeah, it's a half decent legendary in body shit and comp.
Oh, I know. That's the other thing. I heard that the comp scene, like Yveltal or Xerneas,
It is
actually kinda
disgusting in comp.
I mean, it is a fairy type. If you're a fairy legend, you're pretty much hooking like a lot of stuff.
I think
on
it's the
it.
only fairy legend, right?
I think so.
Dacian is also
Oh,
fairy.
yeah,
Also
yeah,
an Amorous.
We don't talk about that one.
Is that it? Are those the only
We
ones?
don't
Yeah, I
talk
guess
about
so.
that mistake. Oh, well, actually, technically, what's her face? Tapu Lele.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I completely forgot about the Tapus.
These are legends. Yeah,
The
they were.
Tapus are legends.
Yeah, they're more of like a.
Cocoa Puffs, Lele, bullshit, and oh god, don't stab me, please.
Also, on a side note, the way how Game Freak classifies their legends, quote unquote, is kind of bizarre and weird, but that can be like another podcast and stuff. To, like,
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean
what
by
are-
that, Bloom? What do you mean that it's weird?
No,
I'm just
so
No, let's not dive into it.
No, that's a
no,
discussion
no.
for another night.
yeah,
Okay,
This
good
has
to
already
know.
been like 2 hours.
no,
Yeah,
that's what
we've
I'm
been here
just gonna.
for long enough.
I was just gonna end it off with this. Their criteria is weird, but yeah. What are our last thoughts? This is gonna be on the last words I say.
This
Justice for
direct
Flygon.
was interesting to say the least because I think everyone was expecting ZA news. Everyone was looking forward for specifically ZA, so they saved the big ticket, the best thing for last.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
You guys. Yep.
I'm hoping it comes out soon. I'm kind of hoping, we know it's for Switch already. I'm hoping it's for Switch 2 as well, because if there's a version that plays better and looks better, I'd rather that. That's just me.
I'm pretty sure it will be because the fact that they had to delay it it was a little bit suspicious to begin with.
Well, to be fair, Game Freak's been rushing out games for a while, so them taking a year off, they can take a year off.
No, I don't blame them either. The fact that they've been pumping out games for this consistently for that long mostly without any delays. It's amazing. So I'm not blaming them. I do think it will be released on the Switch too.
Yeah, I think so.
All I have to say to end this off is go watch the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct that's next week.
Oh yeah.
We're getting more info on the console that is going to break the Switch in half.
Oh, I need to see
I
that.
just see
When
the
is
Mario
that,
Kart stuff, but that's not
exact day?
Pokemon related. It's April 2nd.
Good to know.
Next week, baby.
Very excited. Very excited.
Potential
Well, to
Switch
end
2
that,
potential Switch 2 podcast.
Oh Lord.
no. I don't know.
No.
Maybe.
If we do that, I'm not going to be available. I'm going to have a guest over.
Gotcha.
And I don't think we want guests on the podcast just yet.
No, that's too early in the process. Soon enough, patrons, soon enough. Well, with that being said, my friends, that was our conversation on the Pokemon Direct from, and I'm going to get it right this time, February 27th, 2025. There we go, getting it
Yay,
right.
We got it right.
Yeah,
Thanks, Gavin,
exactly.
for real.
Yay, we did it. Give me that thunderous applause. Well, thank you, patrons. If you stuck around this long, we really appreciate your time listening to us. We hope to catch you in for the next patron event.
Can I end off with something?
Yes.
Tune in next time on Den of the Maidenless.
You mean Den of the Midnight?
Shut up.
Whatever. We
Cue the jazz. Cue the jazz.